Greetings, welcome to the video log. Just got a few things that I've been thinking about. One is, well, you know when like people always see the negative side, especially with sexual relationships or friendships. Like they might say, oh so and so, oh I wanted to be so much more than friends, but he just wants to be friends. Then they'll say about another person, they'll say, oh, he just wanted me for my body. What about me as a person? I'm a really interesting person. I mean, you've got to accept the positive, haven't you? Some people are interested in your personality. Some people in their sex sessions. You know, there's no point, like, you know, being all negative about it all the time. Anyway, I think you get the idea of what I'm saying there. A couple of other things to say. Related, the Queen Elizabeth I, she was known as the Virgin Queen. But then she said she was married to England. But that doesn't make sense. If she was married to England, then she wasn't a virgin, was she? Because she would have had sex with England. Unless I suppose the marriage hadn't been consummated, then it wasn't a real marriage. It could be annulled. So another thing. Also, listening to the radio, and there's like a call-in show. Well, I don't know what you do, but sometimes when I'm listening to a call-in show, I kind of fantasise about the people calling in having no legs. And obviously, normally you'd expect most people to have legs. It's not always mentioned, is it? Sometimes they just say things like, well, personally, I think there's too many immigrants in this country. You don't know whether they've got legs or not. It's not mentioned, but you assume they do. But then I often think, wouldn't it be good if then, well, anyway, I just wrote here, same voice, no legs. And I also wrote, a few hours research to find out their address, a bazooka removed from storage. And that suggests that one's not routinely using the bazooka. Life-changing injuries. So I'm just saying, as a one-off, occasionally, I'm not, you've got to be careful here. I know that my friend Russell Brand, he recently got in trouble for saying to people they should vote for Ed Miliband then changing his mind. So I'm not telling people they should blow people's legs off with a bazooka. I'm just saying it once in a while as an occasional. And they will maybe put things in perspective when they lose their legs. Also, I've just written wedding gifts. They want a decanter and yet they've been shagging for years. I don't know about you, but I get fed up with like when it's a wedding and like, they all say, oh we need a wedding present, and like you've been living together the last 8 years, shagging in sin. I can't also, you know when people say, oh I can't bear it if it should rain on my wedding day, oh I'll be devastated. I mean the chances of it raining on your wedding day are, I mean that's the price you pay for living on a habitable earth and being alive. You know, pathetic. So that's that. Now also, I wrote here, this won't make sense particularly, but I just wrote it. Tattoo of a lion close to a large hard cock. Great one night stand, terrible long-term relationship. Gazing at that frigging lion whilst my arm aches. So, if anyone knows what that's about, please write in. And also, I was doing a show a little while ago, and this woman said, she said, oh, very good show tonight. And then I said, thank you. Like, she was an older lady of maybe about 63. And then she said, oh, you travel all around the world? I said, yes, do a lot of travelling. And then she says, of course, you don't make much money. It's a hard life. I didn't know what to say. I sort of said, yeah, we had a very hard life. Then afterwards, I thought, but it isn't a hard life, is it? And then I thought, like, the reason she's saying that is basically to justify her own life. Like she sort of can think, yeah, well, I never done much of my life. It's quite a boring life, but at least I can justify it by making out that people who had a much more fun life than me made much less money than me. Anyway, the point is, don't speak to me taking out your failed life speaking to me. Get lost. And finally, there you can hear Ken laughing. He's my worker, he's making the video. Also, I just wrote down redundant things. Things that were great inventions but then almost immediately became redundant. Tom-toms, A to Z, Road Atlas, and also the knowledge. You know that thing with the taxi drivers in London, and they always say, we've got the knowledge, we know the different roads. Not necessary, we have sat-nav now. Fax machines, telex, landlines, compass, you have it on your phone. Calculator, don't need it on the phone. Slide rule came before compass. Bebo, what was Bebo? Anyone remember that? MySpace, pathetic. MSN Messenger, BlackBerry Messenger, remember that was really top quality at one stage for about a year. Digital cameras, no one has them anymore because it's on the phone. But interestingly, the actual sound of an original camera still remains on people's phones. And sometimes original images of things remain. Any of those ideas, please write in. Dating groups. I remember when people used to go on lunch dating societies. Now, of course, everyone has sex on the internet. In fact, very few people actually meet now. It's all done by the web. Aeroplane tickets, you only get those in the films. Like when people say, oh, but even in films nowadays, even in the modern day, they still say, oh, I've got a bit of a surprise for you. We're going to Florida. And then they bring out 2 tickets. But now it's all electronic. Pathetic. Alarm clock, file fax, WAP. Do you remember WAP? Like it was about 12 years ago when you went into a mobile phone shop, they'd say it's WAP enabled. And then that was replaced by the internet within about 1 week. Normal televisions, like old TVs like that, go back. Thick. Trunk call, that's a long time ago in the 70s. And address book, actual physical address book. Like a little while ago, an aunt gave me like an actual physical address book to write my addresses in. It's pathetic, you know, it just actually makes you actually just want to go and do a poo on their doorstep. You know, they're so behind. Anyway, that is the end of the video log. So, hope you enjoyed the video log and see you in the next video log.